How do you stop stutter stepping in the hurdles? I get asked that question a lot. There's 3 solutions, and in this video, I'm going to share all of them with you. And at the end, I'm going to share some practical real race scenarios that you can learn from. So let's go. Stutter stepping has 2 causes. One's easier to fix and it has 2 solutions. But the other cause is much more difficult, so we're going to tackle that one first. The first cause is psychological, probably a lack of confidence. Some athletes, no matter what, even if they have their hurdle spacing perfect, are always going to slow down and throw in a couple of extra steps, no matter what. It's enough to drive a coach crazy. Here's a solution that I came up with, and for this, we're going to have some custom spacing for the athlete. First, you'll establish a start line and have the athlete run at approximately 60% speed. At their 12th step, have the athlete leap over an imaginary hurdle and then place a hurdle there. Then, have the athlete start again, run over the hurdle without stuttering, and continue running at that same steady speed and leap over another imaginary hurdle after their 9th step. Then replace the imaginary hurdle with a real hurdle. Next, set out a 3rd and 4th hurdle at the same distance. Now, the hurdles are set at a spacing that is customized for the athlete, and they should be able to run over and between them at a comfortable speed without stuttering. You might have to tweak it a bit to get it right. Once the athlete has mastered the drill and is confident and ready to go faster, spread the hurdles out a bit. I recommend 1 walking stride length. Then have them run over the hurdles faster. Repeat this pattern until they can run it at race speed, and I mean hard charging the hurdles. It's really exciting to see them master their fears and learn to hurdle properly. Now the athlete should be rehabilitated and able to train with the other athletes in the 300 and 400 meter training. But don't be surprised if the athlete relapses a bit and needs some extra coaching, going back to what we just did here. But next time it can be an abbreviated version of it. So what if it's not a psychological issue? Maybe the athlete isn't afraid to go over the hurdles at full speed. In fact, they do it at most of the hurdles, but every now and then something happens and they have to slow down and stutter. What do you do then? In this case, it's because they simply aren't in the right place to go over with their dominant leg. They're either too close or too far away, so they throw in a few chop steps to adjust. For every hurdle that this happens, the athlete has a choice. They can either cut out 1 step and go over with their non-dominant leg, or they can cut out 2 steps. To do that, they have to run faster, take longer strides, but they get to stay with their dominant leg. Seems crazy, but it works. Let me give you some examples. In practice, you went from the starts to the first hurdle and everything worked perfect. But in the meet, you had to stutter. And when you look at the video playback, you're surprised to find out you actually took the right amount of steps. So why'd you have to stutter? That's why in my hurdle training plan and my other videos, I don't put a lot of emphasis on practicing your steps for the 300 and 400 meter hurdles in practice, because it rarely works the same as the meet. To fix this, just switch your legs in the blocks and you should hit the hurdle perfectly. You plan to go over the second hurdle in either 15 or 17 steps, but in the meet you chopped big time. And again, you look at the playback video and you got your steps down. So what happened? In this case, because it was a meet, you're running faster and with longer strides than you normally do, so you ended up getting too close to the hurdle. This is the kind of thing that happens in meets. So the fix here is very similar to the first scenario. You're going to have to either maintain the same pace and remove 1 step, again going over with your non-dominant leg, or you can anticipate, run a little faster with a little longer stride, remove 2 steps, and stay on your dominant leg. So racing over the first 3 or 4 hurdles, everything works out fine, but you come up to the next hurdle and you always seem to chop really badly. What do you do then? Well, that's normal. It's because you're starting to fatigue. And when that happens, your stride length naturally starts to shorten, and that's the reason why you're now too far away from the hurdle. To fix this, you have to anticipate, and then you have 3 options. You could stick with the planned steps, but stretch out to maintain the same length per step. Or you could let your strides naturally shorten, but add 1 step. Keep in mind, you'll have to switch legs to do this. Or 3, you could slightly and intentionally decrease your stride length, but maintain a quick turnover rate, and this will lead to adding 2 steps, but they'll be fast. Now for the third approach. It seems very simple in concept, but it can be pretty hard to pull off. That's learn to hurdle comfortably with both legs and just go for it. Go hard, don't slow down, and lead with whatever leg is there at the time, and don't overthink. That's it. If you want to learn more about hurdling or how I can help you with the hurdles, go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. I'd like you to consider letting me coach you. So how would that work? It's called a virtual coaching session. You send in your video and all the questions and concerns that you have. I'm going to go over it in depth and send you another video showing you exactly what I think you need to fix and how to get better and reach your goals. It's guaranteed to work and everybody loves it. So give it a try. Until then, Coach Ace out.